When you have a base number with an exponent that is negative and an integer, you just write it as a new fraction. The new fraction that you're gonna make will have 1 in the numerator, and in the denominator you're gonna have the same base number with the same exponent, but in this case the exponent becomes a positive number. So 5 raised to the power of negative 2 equals simply 1 divided by 5 raised to the power of 2, or 5 squared. Let's do some more examples with numbers in this video. Now we already learned what happens when you have an exponent equal positive 1. You don't have to write it because every number raised to the power of 1 is that number. A raised to the power of 1 equals A, just like A multiplied by 1 equals A. Now, if that number instead of positive 1 is negative 1, remember, I write it as a new fraction, 1 on the numerator, and in the denominator, in the part below on the bottom, I have to write A raised to the power of 1 because 1 is the positive of this exponent. But since A raised to the power of 1 is just A, I don't write it. I just write 1 over A. So any number which has an exponent equal to negative 1 is going to be 1 over that number. Another name for the exponent equals to negative 1 is the reciprocal, because I have to just turn it upside down. Basically, A raised to the power of negative 1 is 1 over A. 2 raised to the power of negative 1 equals 1 over 2, 1/2. The reciprocal of 2, which means having the exponent equal to negative 1, is 1/2. Any number with the negative 1, you just write it as 1 divided by that number. Remember, the exponent is there, it's just positive 1, so you don't have to write it. Now what happens when the exponent is an integer? It's negative, but it's not 1. You just write it again with 1 in the numerator and the same exponent and the same base number in the denominator, but in this case the exponent is positive. And you just work like you worked before with the positive integers, with the positive exponents, which are also integers, but in the denominator only. It is everything in the denominator, and in the numerator you have a number 1. Let's show you here with numbers. Remember, 5 to the power of 3 equals 125. Now 5 to the power of negative 3 equals 1 divided by 5 to the power of 3, or 5 cubed. So that becomes 1 divided by, just like in the case of the positive, 1 divided by 5 times 5 times 5, which equals 1 divided by 125. So 1 divided by 125 becomes 0.008. So as you can see, 5 cubed is 125, 5 raised to the power of negative 3 is 1 divided by 125, which is a number very, very, very small compared to the 125. It equals 0.008. So summarizing here about the negative exponents, the negative integer exponents, the exponent negative 1 is the reciprocal. You just write the number, the base number, as 1 over the base number. And any base number with an exponent that is negative and an integer equals 1 divided by the same base number, the same exponent, but the exponent instead of negative is now a positive. So you just keep working on the denominator, and the result is going to be the same result that you had before with the positive exponents, only that it is now 1 divided by A multiplied by itself n amount of times. Remember, A is the base number and n is the value of the exponent.